my man Say responded, and he's got a strong take that's unpopular on Miami. He says, Miami is never going to be the football powerhouse it once was. Want everyone to realize that. So Say, talking that cash, letting people know what it is. And he's referring to, obviously, what Miami was in the 80s. Their 3 national titles they had during that decade, obviously extremely impressive. But the thought that Miami won't be what they were in the 80s, I don't think is a stretch. But I want to focus on that word powerhouse. That to me would equate to multiple conference titles, probably in the college football national title picture consistently. I don't know if it's fair to just assume they're not going to be a powerhouse. Like, never's a long time. Like, never say never is what I would say to that. But when it comes to what Miami was, I would focus less on recreating the 80s and more on what they are right now. Because to be honest, Miami right now reminds me a lot of Texas and what they were going into this past season and the way they were trending. Because remember, Texas, 5-7, 8-4, then they made the college football playoff and won their conference. Miami, 5-7 in their first year under Cristobal, 7-5 last year, a knee away from being 8-4. What are they going to be in year 3? We have the same questions we had about Texas as we do Miami right now. Hey, what do they have at quarterback? Quinn Ewers, is he going to be able to carry the load? Is he going to be able to be as good as advertised? We're asking that about Cam Ward right now. Yeah, he played at Incarnate Word. Oh, that's nice. He put up good numbers in the Pac-12, but like, can he do that in the ACC? Can he do that in a new place where Miami offensively is still seeming to get their bearings? I'm excited about Miami. I'm excited about Miami for a couple of reasons. They did what they did last year, did Miami. I mean, again, should have taken a knee away from being 8-4. They did it basically with no quarterback. Like, Miami turned the ball over almost as much as anybody else in the country. And now you bring in Cam Ward, who I think is as good a transfer portal quarterback as there is in the country. And I think he also suits the offense much better under Shannon Dawson. Like, Shannon Dawson's offense, he wants to be more air raid. I don't think they were able to be that because of what they were limited at with quarterback play last year. But like Cam Ward, he comes from the air raid background. He averaged 7.7 yards an attempt last year. Bottom line, threw the ball for a lot of yards last year. Okay, yes, there were some fumble issues, but overall, from a skill set perspective, the tools that he possesses, I think it fits much more with what they want to be offensively. And so if you're able to cut down on those fumbles, the interceptions are already much less than what you have with Tyler Van Dyke and many more attempts. I feel good about the direction of that offense. And so kind of upping that talent level at the quarterback position, telling me you had an 8-win, give or take, caliber team last year, and you get better at the most important position, that would excite me if I'm a Miami fan. On top of that, the young talent that Miami has in-house, that cycles up another year. Ruben Bain, dog for you last year. Francis Mauigoa was just snow plowing people last year. I mean, when he got out there on a screen, it was just absolutely, it was unwatchable if you were under the age of 14. That's the kind of violence Francis Mauigoa was putting on display out there. They got some dudes. That top 10 class as a whole in 2023 contributed in a big way this past year, and they cycle up. They get another year of experience. So you pair that with Cam Ward, I feel good about Miami. And this is not to throw shade at any conference, but I think the ACC is very winnable. I really do. And that's not to say that Florida State isn't very good or that Clemson isn't going to be a factor, but I just have a lot of question marks. Like, as good as Florida State was last year, I don't know what DJ is going to be. Keon Coleman's not there anymore. Jordan Travis isn't there anymore. Guys that were staples in their undefeated ACC title season aren't there anymore. Louisville, yeah, they played for the ACC last year, but, they bring in upwards of 20 new guys. What's the hit rate on 24-plus transfers? I don't know. We'll see. Clemson, I've had questions about them for the last 2 years. What are they going to be? Are we seeing this continual decline of them under Dabo Swinney? I don't know. The bottom line is all the question marks you have about Miami, I think you can make as many question marks about other competitors in the ACC. So with that being the case, man, I'm excited about Miami in that way. I think the ACC is anyone's ballgame. Last thing I'll say here, I trust Mario Cristobal. There are some people that may have sold their stock on Mario Cristobal, and that's fine. But I think it's hard to quantify the personal factor for him when it comes to Miami, because he's seen Miami when they're the U, right? Like he's seen those kind of things happen in Coral Gables. Like, he has the blueprint to get there. And when it's personal for you, when it means a little extra something to you, and you're in charge of the entire operation, think of the lengths that you'll go to elevate your football team. You're probably getting a little bit extra time in the film room. You're probably putting a little bit more attention to that calendar. And that's not to say anything of any other coach in college football and how much attention they do or don't pay. But I'm telling you, from Mario Cristobal, man, we talked to him last spring, I believe it was, just about Miami and just the way they're trending. And he told us off air, he's like, listen, man, it's been a long time. I'm pouring every single ounce of myself into making Miami what they have been previously. So, again, it's just lip service at this point for us telling you what Miami's going to be, but I think the trend they're at is interesting. I think Mario Cristobal and his personal investment there is interesting, and I think the ACC as a whole is very interesting. So add Cam Ward to the mix. Miami could be a player in 2024. What they were in the 80s, I wouldn't worry about that. I'm excited to see what they are in 2024. So Miami, will they be a powerhouse again? I don't think we're that far removed from those days being possible again in Coral Gables. We're not predicting it. We're just saying it's not off the table. Hey, y'all. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also, be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.